The Federal Reserve cut rates, which is normally bullish, but the market did not act very good at all. Let's dive in. Breaking. Federal Reserve cuts interest rates by 25 basis points, which is 0.25%. However, there was so much red in the market. Solana went down, it's currently at 210. And in the top 100, Pingu's not doing very well, Flocky, and so on. There's a significant drop of over 10% in the market. However, in the stocks, this was even more brutal. 1.5 trillion was wiped out from the US stock market. All these things are normal, to be perfectly honest. And who knows really why it actually happened. Maybe there were some bigger players thinking it would be even more than 0.25. Not really sure. Either way, they flush things out. They flush out leverage and whatnot. But the Dow Jones stock index closes down 10 days in a row, the longest losing streak since 1974. Pretty nuts. However, Cadence is noticing that shorts are piling up on BTC, significant liquidity to the upside to squeeze shorts. Do with this information as you will. In other words, what we could see here is the price comes down a little bit, and then it bounces up and it's back over like 108,000 or something. In general, though, when you see a heat map that's just red like that, it's a little bit scary. You're going to see things throughout the next year far more brutal than this, so get used to it. And just remember, don't be leveraged too high on a liquid position, such as in Camino or in Suland or Aave or whatever. You want to make sure that you're not going to be liquidated easily if you're borrowing in Sol, ETH, BTC, SUI, whatever. The Fear and Greed Index has dropped to a more healthier level, 75. That is fine. And Deutsche Bank, which has been probably one of the most fined banks in all of banking, they're building their own layer 2 on Ethereum. Completely bearish on this. Just put it on your radar. Solana is surpassing all other chains combined, capturing 53% of global usage in November. And if we had a look at it for December thus far, which I don't have access to that data, but we would see it's even more crazy, mostly due to Pingu. Now, let's have a look at the Jupiterverse. Jupiterverse is expanding, very bullish on Jupiter, and I can cover that in another thesis video if you like. But essentially, Cash joining Jupiter full-time, this is magical. And I think every bit of Jupe that I have, I stake, and then up it goes. I'm just going to hold it. There'll be sometimes when I take profits, I'm not thinking any profit taking for quite some time, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, compared to last Jupiterary, 10x more wallets, 1 million to 10 million, 50 times more swap volume. This is also, a bull market, so to be expected, but still, these are very significant growth metrics. 3 million wallets swapped $1,000 each, and I believe you needed to swap at least $1,000 in a wallet to qualify for Jupiterary for the next airdrop. Swapped 1 million each, 21,000 wallets, and there's a lot more power users as well. Now, RFQ is basically designed so that you can have zero slippage when you're using a swap between USDC and Sol. So if you're using big numbers, make sure you go and toggle on RFQ, have a look at the simulation before and after, and you should see that it's better. I have no idea how much you actually have to do before you start noticing a big difference, but I imagine it's, 10,000, 100,000, something quite large. Stream is now live on Camino. Big fan of Stream, the actual dApp. Not too focused on the token right now. Haven't done my deep dive into it, and the price is falling, but that's kind of as expected. If you are personally bullish on Stream and JitoSol, which everyone here watching the channel is probably going to be bullish on Sol. If you're bullish on Stream, this is a meteor revolt. So this is finally getting MET points. So it's getting Camino points, MET points. This makes me happy. If they had Pingu and JitoSol, I'd be all over it. However, they previously had it on Orca. I really wish they were on Meteor. So this is earning an APY that's going to be okay. The actual TVL in this is actually very minimal, but it's only getting, this is 70 times $3 or $4. So it's not getting a crazy boost. I mean, when you work it all out, it's still, it's a boost. But if you want either of these, you think, okay, I like both these, then you may want to jump in. However, keep in mind that this is a stream chart. This is kind of normal with alpha vaults, unless they start to ship things and turn things around. And with Stream, I mentioned I really want to do a podcast with him, and that was just to try and get out better messaging, and it didn't go ahead, and that's fine. But there isn't enough clarity on Streamflow, in my opinion, for what the token is going to be used for. Kind of like dBridge, not quite the same as dBridge, but I'm sure it will do well with time. But in the short term, if this kind of dips down a little bit further, then you'll have some impermanent loss in that pool. Greed Christmas. So this is from the Greed Academy. They're doing 7 days of Greedmas. And this is a whole lot of money to be earned just by getting amongst it, basically. Doing some bounties, for those that want to do bounties. This is not for everybody. There's 72 submissions, so it's going to be very hard to compete. But if you're interested, give it a go. Solana ID, their token generation event is today. Now, they're doing via BorgPad, which, also gets the Borg community in, not so much the style that I'm used to, like using Meteor or whatever. So this is at 5 p.m. UTC. If you're keen on this, by all means, get amongst it. I'm personally not going to do it. It's just that there's a few hoops to jump in, and I'm not actually in the house at this time. So that's why I'm not going to do it. But you can either hold Borg or something, or you can hold the Solana ID pre-pass, but then the DEX listing comes live at this time. Now, if it comes live and it's at a lower price, then maybe I would look at getting some. However, with Solana ID, I want them to ship everything. And then as they ship things, then I might be far more keen to accumulate. You can take a risk and accumulate now, and you're completely up to you can do that if you want to. The reality is it's a down day. It's a very, very down day. It's a red day. And with this particular project, they have a lot of airdrop farmers, just people who are just wanting an airdrop. So how does it do? I think the public sale will be fine, completely fine. And maybe the token will start to go gradually up, or it could bounce up pretty hard. But I just can't risk putting in capital here right now. I'd rather miss the initial gains and then jump in. But I do think it could do well. I'm just being transparent with everything. I will link this here as well. You can go through. My best kind of bet would be to join the live stream and decide for yourself. You have to make all decisions for yourself. They have been very, very transparent about what's going on. And basically, if you do enter into the liquidity pool, initially, this is the BorgPad liquidity bootstrapping protocol, then you will be receiving your solid at a discounted price, like at the affordable cheap price is 20 million FTV, which is very low, to be perfectly honest, paid out linearly over 6 months. So every month you're going to get a little bit. And apparently the first payout will be tomorrow. Then they're going to put all this DEX liquidity pools on Solana as well. So I don't have all the details here. You're going to have to read it yourself and dive into Discord. There is a fake token out there as well, and this is very clever. So don't go and buy this, of course. But you see that it has a fake mint address over here. This is the CA. But up here, they put in the description the actual token address. So it makes you think that this is legitimate and somehow just got leaked early. This is not the case. This is fake. But watch out for this. Make sure that whenever you're looking at something that you have to copy the CA, because this even got me myself when it was really early in the morning. Bonk miscalculated one of the integrations last night after the update, and it said like 1.5 billion. It's 500 million. So we still need to just hashtag let's bonk. You may have seen to Elon saying, don't do this, it's ugly, whatever. I'll do it for until Christmas, and then I'll never do hashtags probably again, because yeah, they don't seem to work anymore. Metasol made this Pudgy Penguin lookup tool. Very simple, just put in a wallet and look it up. I think you can only do one wallet at a time. That's the only thing. But, copy, paste, it resolves very quickly, and it tells you how many Pingu you've got and if they are unclaimed. And finally, the actionables. Take your soul, stake it with Validate.com. As always, join my Telegram channel for time-sensitive updates. That's where I put out things very quickly. Check out my Sui network playlist to get started on Sui. Very bullish over there. Check out the Stream Jito Soul Vault if you're bullish on Stream and Jito Soul. And participate in Greed Miss Bounties if that's for you. Also, hashtag Let's Bonk. Send a Bonk card. Participate in the burn miss for Bonk. That big burn, I think that will push Bonk to a new higher, all-time high. And airdrop actionables, get those MET points, sign up for Cast Debit Card, use the Gradient Network, Grass, and Dawn. That's all for today. Catch you in the next video.
Whoa!